don't know if we'll do that. What's up, Igor? There you are, my guy. What we should do, though, it don't look like there's any other news. So let's actually crack on with, as I put in the timestamps. Again, make sure you're checking out the YouTube playlist, people, where I normally cut out clips and do the rest of it. Latest news. Where should we start? Close that. Close that. Got that. Europa League is a must. Everything, man. You know, obviously you can't win everything, but I'm an Arsenal fan. I always want the FA Cup. I do want European trophies. We're not really blessed with that at Arsenal. You know, I do want to qualify for top four. And, you know, again, as long as you're in the League Cup, it's maybe not the biggest of priorities, but any trophy you can win it is what it is, man. I don't know what that is. No, you're asking some Ferrari questions, man. I don't know about none of that. I don't know. What's that? What's that? I don't know about that. What's that? This football thing, my guy. I don't know, man. I don't know about none of that. You're gonna have to ask someone who knows. You might have to ask Scar City Studios or something, people. But anyways, away from that, this Mudryk brother, again, this thing has just changed, people, because when I look how much clubs are onto him and other clubs. Look, every article, Leeds scout Mudryk, West Ham looking at him, Everton looking at him, Arsenal joined Liverpool and City. You know, Fabrizio Romano the other day sat there and said there's 14, 15 clubs looking at him. Obviously, some will be convinced, some won't. We've seen everything from Ben Jacobs' comments about how he'd love to move in January to him talking about he looks at Ronaldo. I mean, Mudryk looks like, I'm no expert. I can't tell you all his weaknesses. You know, I'm not expert on Ukrainian football, but for what I'm seeing, he looks decent, looks like he can develop. I like the way he speaks, the mentality. If he could be a star of tomorrow and Arsenal could do it, get it done. But if they don't, it is what it is. But yeah, that was completely off topic, people. But yeah, you're just seeing a lot of things in that guy's relation to him. Look, Everton, everything, every article is literally somebody else. But I just thought I would highlight that. In relation to Kieran Tierney, an update on Kieran Tierney. Tierney has returned to the club from international duty with Scotland. Our defender is back as a precaution after being substituted due to sustaining a head injury whilst playing for Scotland in their UEFA Nations League fixture against Republic of Ireland. It's not an international game for Scotland with Tierney if he doesn't pick up some knock. First things first, we hope he's all right. We hope he's not concussed. We hope obviously he's available to play against Spurs, but if not, there's no long-lasting damage. So big up to him. We also heard, we spoke about in the last live stream on Saturday or Friday, Tomiyasu is returning to the club after playing in the first Japanese game. He's returning to London. Odegaard played for Norway, so we hope he's all right. But yeah, as you can see here, Thomas Partey granted permission to fly to London for further assessment. Again, at 29 years of age, it's kind of boring if there's anything long-term, but Thomas Partey has been granted permission to travel back to London for further assessment after picking up a suspected knee injury on Friday, minutes before the international friendly against Brazil. The critics will say, why the fuck are these lot going off and playing for them if they're not fit? But it is what it is. You know, he was set to start. He pulled out a few things ago. Apparently, it was a precautionary measure. You know, Ghana play Nicaragua on Tuesday, tomorrow. But yeah, he won't be part of that. So hopefully he's fit against Spurs or whatever, because this is if you're not involved in the most important period of October, we don't need more bodies dropping. Football.London, obviously we just spoke about Partey. People like Tierney. Partey has had to return to the club from the international break due to a knee problem, but with no indication on whether he'll be available for the North London derby. Let's hope there's a bit of gamesmanship with Arsenal, not trying to make out people are injured. DJ, in my opinion, Mudryk is trash. His end product is poor and he's not impressive. I mean, he's going to have to prove you wrong in that regards. For Arteta to cement his status, he needs to win a European trophy, a big miss in our trophy cabinet. But Europa ain't going to be easy with all the Champions League teams dropping down. It's not really. And it's going to be even difficult because Arsenal have shown, so historically, once we get to the latter stages, apart from making the final, which is technically latter stages and we bottled it, we can't control our mentality and we don't always do the best, man. I think clubs will need 55 to 70 million to get him because of the huge demand, and that will benefit Shakhtar. DG, do you think Danilo will need much time in the Premier League to adjust? Maybe the most of every potential target, but I like his game. Probably. He'd be joining in January. He's having a poor season, allegedly. Palmeiras fans, of course he would need time. I hope he hits it off and straight away, but even if he hits it off straight away, there'll be a normality of performances. Martin Odegaard, Football.London understands the club captain. Odegaard is expected to be fully fit for Spurs at the weekend. So yeah, people. Zinchenko is set to return for the North London derby. Tomiyasu has returned to Arsenal as well. You hope he's fit. Apparently, it's likely Cedric Suarez will be available for selection versus Spurs. Ironically, I don't think there's a need for you on the bench if the real dons are available. But big up Cedric and anyone suffering at the moment. Journalist believes Douglas Luiz will join Arsenal if he leaves Villa. I don't know, man. We heard Telemans is whatever, innit? Simon Phillips has told Give Me Sport that he believes Douglas Luiz will join Arsenal should he leave Villa on a free next summer. Apparently, they set an asking price of 40 million on deadline day, which is crazy. Maybe they didn't have time to find a replacement. The situation there is if he becomes a free agent, Chelsea will probably have a look at it, but I think he'll end up joining Arsenal. I mean, that just seems like a comment. Where's the tangible? You get me? Like, is that just a personal opinion? Where's the evidence to suggest that? Where's the extended comments? So nothing really. I mean, if you want to believe Donny, you can believe Donny, but there's nothing really there. Apparently, Arsenal once again keen to sign Lyon midfielder Hossam Aouar, who would be interested in a move to the Emirates next year if Arsenal can secure a place in the Premier League's top four. The way you're moving, I'm seeing Betis and all them things. You better calm yourself down. You are not in that territory to be talking on us like that again. He's been linked with City as well, and I can't say this news outlet, but this is always Banduli. I mean, we've been linked with Aouar, Milinkovic, Savic, Locatelli, Moretti, Vlahovic. We're winning we'll probably win the Tour de France at this rate, people, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's where Arsenal are moving in that direction. I don't believe that, but Aouar, why not? Again, Newcastle are interested along with Arsenal in signing Hossam Aouar. They have reported that Arsenal, Newcastle, Juventus, and Real Betis are all like the Lyon midfielder. I mean, he's out of contract soon, 24 years of age. You've seen him drop in valuation, but he was highly rated with Pep. So maybe that. He's also been linked with City, people. He's played once in Liga so far this season. Crazy. I don't know what happened. But at 24, you're entering peak years. You can get it together. Don't think you're going to the World Cup. Saliba got rubbed out at halftime playing for France, people, like a bunch of players. What has his gaffer said? And Camavinga as well. He said, I don't think it's a shipwreck. We also had a lot of chances, but we were ineffective. We made some errors when playing out from the back. And he was playing in the back three from what I hear. It's a young French side where the majority of players don't have experience at the highest level, which you're going to see. You've seen Condé, Varane once a time fall into that, but it just keeps your feet on the floor. But when you have four corners and a Danish player is left alone each time, you can play with 3 or 5 at the 3, 5 or 12 at the back. It doesn't change a thing. And I think that's bad habits, because I do think at Marseille and Nice, a lot of the times when I was watching Saliba on loan, not just him, but they were poor from set pieces. So maybe that's improved, really. Obviously, we have young quality players who are learning, but the most important thing is to recover all our vital experienced players for 2 months' time. So, yeah, finding the right blend. But, France are definitely going to be favourites, if not major contenders. Pau Torres, star who rejected Tottenham transfer last year, said yes to Arsenal. Star who rejected Tottenham transfer last year has said yes to Arsenal. Star who rejected Tottenham transfer last year said yes to Arsenal. I can't lie, it sounds good. I have to say it bare times. But anyways, Pau Torres, which I don't believe, he'd be a perfect left-sided left-sided centre-back. I don't think you're aggressive enough for me, but definitely if we sold Gabriel, you could be all right. And I'm having it. Pau Torres has reportedly spoken to Mikel Arteta and said yes to a potential transfer to Arsenal. Big up Emery, he's probably helping us. With the two clubs now just needing to reach an agreement on the deal, he's shunning the Liga and it's looked like he could move to a bigger club. Wasn't you linked with Madrid and Barca? I don't know where that one is. He admitted he rejected a transfer to Tottenham. But this article has now stated indicated he's keen to join their rivals Arsenal. The Spanish international could be a good signing for the Gunners, though they're already reasonably well stocked in terms of central defensive options. As you know, Saliba and Gabriel are doing their thing. Ben White shown versatility in defence as well, reverting back to right back because he has done it. Romano says Arsenal explored Pau Torres deal this summer. Fabrizio Romano has told Court Offside that Arsenal explored a potential deal for Pau Torres during the summer, but the Gunners were ultimately put off by his asking price. And, we were linked with Yeremy Pino. Apparently, Villarreal's financial situation is quite volatile. Smash the like button, people, and he needs to make peace. I mean, Tottenham had a £43 million bid rejected, or he didn't favour it. So, yeah, I mean, if Gabriel was to go Juventus, I'm taking Pau Torres. According to Romano, the Gunners registered an interest in signing Torres, but ultimately his asking price worth up to 41 million put them off. Bit harsh. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham all explored this possibility, but didn't want to spend 45 million euros. I wonder why they weren't convinced. I think it's a good opportunity on the market. He has experience, quality, left-footed, and a very good centre back. So yeah, man, maybe it was just a bit too much considering we had Saliba, Ben White, 50 million last year, and Gabriel's there. For what it's worth, why not? I mean, I do like what I know of Measure, but I'm no experienced guy. Arsenal keeping tabs on Croatian star Lovro Midja after impressive Nations League performance as Gunner scouts watch new Luka Modric score winner against Denmark. I mean, it's not going to help the 24-year-old being labelled that. Croatia always bring out ballers. We need midfielders. So if you've done your, if you've done your due diligence and you think this is someone that can help us, get it done from Rennes, in it, people. Arsenal are keeping an eye on highly rated Rennes midfielder Lovro Midja. He has got a lovely passing range, not on Modric's level, but I can hear with that. I mean, everybody's scouting everyone. It doesn't. We're probably scouting a lot of unrealistic targets at this club, as they are, just to keep more knowledgeable. But it is what it is, people. He's registered 6 goals and 8 assists in his debut season in France and has obviously now broken into the Croatian national team. He scored 3 goals in 9 appearances. So it seems like you have an eye for goal, which on top of us just needing someone who can dictate the tempo is always welcome in midfield. As you know, we're struggling for midfielders we've been linked with Moretti, we've been linked with Vlahovic, who's a striker. None of that is going to happen really and truly. Pardon me. So we're gonna have to see. We've also been linked with my man of Frankfurt, Jesper Limstrong, and apparently he's opened up on his Liverpool allegiance. Let's see what's apparently happened. When you're playing regularly in a club in one of the biggest leagues in the world and you help win the Europa League, then there must be big clubs that are watching. It's a huge confidence boost to hear that such a big club is watching me, but I honestly don't know if it's true. And you will never know if it's true. Your agent, when it's something tangible, your agent will tell you, but it's probably flattering. But away from that, it's just best to keep doing what you're doing, really. He said, I'm a Liverpool man. He's probably grown up as a Liverpool fan, so fair enough. I like to play up front, but I can also play on the wings. I have a strong shot from distance, and I like to link up play in the penalty area. That's decent. Bring that then. But yeah, he's been linked with Liverpool as well. Arsenal plan to raid Juventus for reinforcements to the team. We've been leave it. Basically, Moretti's just blown into the team. Vlahovic has just signed for them after saying that was the club for him. A bit like Locatelli. Anything can happen, and I would take all 3 or one of the 3 for a variety of reasons, but no one believes this. We went over it, innit? It seems like the Arsenal Vlahovic chapter for now. You can never say never in life, but it's over. Once again, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham explored potentially bringing in Pau Torres, but no one seemed to have been convinced enough to get it done, really and truly, which we've kind of seen them comments already. Fabrizio Romano's ruled out Arsenal's interest in Vlahovic. I mean, beyond the obvious. Stories on Dusan Vlahovic and links to Arsenal for January have been described as wider than mark by sources on both sides. Vlahovic only focused on Juventus, and Arsenal currently very happy with their strikers. So, yeah. And as you already know, Vlahovic is a key player for Juventus, and they invested 75 million euros plus add-ons for him. So it's not going to happen. I'd say everything worked out in the end because we got our Don in Jesus. I do think there's scope to bring in another striker, whether Martinelli can become that, whether Eddie can show he can be that, whether Balogun can, or our scouts do the job of whole different entities. But yeah, man, that seems to be that where the latest news is concerned with Arsenal people. So yeah, large up you lot tuned in. Doesn't seem like there's anything else of real note in that regards. What else are you lot saying?